I feel like my echo is making me talk slower. So if you guys notice me like slowly dragging out my syllables, that's why. I'm trying to catch up to myself. It's causing some weird cognitive dissonance.
Ahoy aboard the listenership. You're back for another episode of Dem Guys.
Oh god.
Life rafts can be found on the starboard side.
No, just sink. It's not worth it at this point, guys. Just jump off.
Oh, man.
Let Leonardo DiCaprio float to the bottom of the ocean.
Well, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
That's perfectly fine.
Well, hey guys, welcome back. As always, we have the usual crew, Drew, Slash, and Snow.
Are we gonna like pirate theme this the whole podcast today?
No.
Are we going to do what?
Are we gonna pirate theme the whole podcast?
Oh my gosh. No, you know what though? I gotta check, because maybe we have, if we're lucky, we have a podcast release. Okay. It will be the September 17th podcast release we should do in pirate speak, because September 19th is International Talk Like a Pirate Day. I was hoping that it fell on a Wednesday this year, but it's on a Friday.
Snow, put it in the books.
Okay, I'll put it in the books. The official Dem Guys podcast books I have right here. Let me close them real quick. Okay, we're good.
So yes, we are back. We missed our last regularly scheduled podcast recording time for various reasons,
but it's okay.
We have returned.
Because this is the first podcast of July, Patch. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Patch.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Pirate theme?
This is the first one to wholly release on the dedicated YouTube channel, actually.
Ooh.
If I remember right.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think the last one dual released on my channel and on the dedicated one. So
Yep.
We are weaned from your bosom.
Hopefully everybody found it okay. Hi! Good job following instructions, everyone.
We just lost half of our listenership.
Alright, well, let's get right into it. First of all, let's remind you, we got an email address that you can contact us at, and that's demguyspodcast@gmail.com.
demguyspodcast@gmail.com.
We're also on Twitter at demguyspodcast.
At demguyspodcast.
So hit us up in either of those locations. Follow us on Twitter for updates and fun stuff that may come up between podcasts.
Yeah. Now, before we move on to the game section, I want to tease like the final section of this podcast today. If you guys can retain your listenership all the way through the podcast, we have a new game right before the question segment. So get ready for that. It's going to be awesome.
Sail straight on through, listener. Sail straight on through.
What have I started?
All right, I'm getting the dice out.
Do it.
Let's see. I'm going to make it a D12 this time.
Oh, gosh.
Just for fun.
I call multiples of 3.
So, multiples of 3 for SnoShoe. And I'll take multiples of 3 minus 1.
Mod 1.
Mod 1.
And I'll
All right, here we go.
roommate.
I don't know if mine doesn't make any noise. I don't think so. Wait, I said... I rolled a 13.
What?
I'm pretty sure that was wrong. Okay. Roll dice. Why is it... Okay, my dice app is all weird. Okay, there we go. 2. So that's me.
Oh, yeah. Surprise.
After all of that. Let's see. Basically, my games lately have been the same sort of games that I've been doing. I did recently get a Starband episode out. So I was happy to finally do that. Moving on to the final sector of that game. And then probably not doing much with it on my channel for the foreseeable future. Unless I can find something cool. I think there's some cool mods out there for it. So maybe I'll just start doing like mod showcases or something for it. Kerbal Space Program started a journey to the moon Lathe, which is the very Kerbin-like. It's got an atmosphere and oceans and stuff. I started working my way out there. That's going to be many, many episodes till that mission's completed, because it takes forever in real time.
Aren't they all based off of real planets and moons, though?
It is, yeah, and you're going to, with Lathe, it's a moon of, it's basically Titan. It's the equivalent of Titan, which is a moon of
Saturn?
Jupiter.
Oh, Jupiter, dang it.
And it's just a ridiculously long journey to get out there. I mean, at full time warp, just waiting to get out there, you're still sitting probably 5 straight minutes just staring at the planets moving around. Because it's so far out there.
You gotta untime warp it like ridiculously fast at that point.
Yeah, you do, because it's like, and I missed it. And the mission just got extended by 5 years. But so I've got that going on, VBFS. Finally actually putting some stuff in the biomes project. So trying to move through that quickly, because that was stagnating for a while, and I want to reinvigorate it. And then the big thing for me was I started a new single-player Minecraft series. I don't know if you guys have seen any of, I think Milby has done some Rules That Matter, and Zisto has done some as well, but I decided that looked like it would be a lot of fun for me to do for my channel. And then Drew, I think, was the first to point out to me that I should have called it Rules That Matter. No. So episode 2, I'll do that. Because I didn't even pick up on that the first time.
Oh, gosh.
But in case you're not familiar with it, and you haven't seen it yet, the concept is that in each episode, I add a new listener or viewer suggested rule to a list of rules that I have to follow throughout the course of the entire series. And it makes it, a little bit more interesting than your typical vanilla Minecraft
Like, okay, give an
game.
example.
Well, for the first rule I imposed on myself was that I couldn't eat the same food item twice in a row. So, like, if I ate a piece of pork, I'd have to switch to some other food item. So I'd have to have, like, a diversity of food in my inventory. I couldn't just rely on steak all the time or whatever.
So is, like, no jumping a possibility?
No jumping is probably a possibility. Yeah, that's something I think that could work. See, now, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get all the achievements that Minecraft has to offer, right. And I don't think there are any based on jumping.
It would be hard because you'd have to carry like stairs and ladders everywhere. Well,
I would. I have to have stairs and ladders and slabs, and yeah, it would be.
Could you imagine trying to fight the dragon without jumping?
Fighting the dragon without jumping wouldn't be too difficult.
You have to climb up the end stone blocks everywhere.
Not really. I mean, if you find a nice flat piece that you can move around on, you wouldn't have to worry about it too much there. It'd be the initial moving around, taking out the healers would be a pain, but after that, it probably wouldn't be too big of a deal. Because the dragon will come to you. If you just stand still, he comes.
Right.
So, but I mean, there's some of the rules that have been suggested on my first episode were like, while you're caving, you can't use cobblestone. You can't place cobble. You have to use some other block.
Okay.
What were some of the other ones that were suggested? Like, oh man, I can't even remember now. There were some good ones, but for some reason they're not coming to my mind. But Zisto had ones like, whenever you need to smelt something, you have to craft a new furnace, and you can use only one piece of coal per furnace.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and you can't break furnaces, so the world got littered with furnaces. That sort of thing.
Same with, like, crafting tables.
Build a house out of furnaces.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's one suggestion that you can only cook or smelt items with charcoal.
Oh gosh,
you can't use like regular coal or
That's my
any,
nightmare. I hate charcoal.
Else. I presume. I mean, under those circumstances, you'd have to be able to smelt, create the charcoal with something else. But I'm guessing anything else would be forbidden.
So, like, you can smelt with wood logs or charcoal.
Yeah.
Now you have a punishment thing too, right?
Yeah, there was this is something I think Zisto had in his series too, where if I forget to follow a rule, then I realize it at some point after I've broken a rule, then there's some sort of punishment that I have to go through. And Zisto, he played with the super secret settings upside down filter.
Oh god.
That was his initial punishment, that he had to play upside down when he broke a rule until he killed a mob.
You should have to chug give yourself a potion of, not a potion, just like an effect, nausea effect.
Oh, yeah, like with the op command.
Yeah, and then we'd all throw up.
Well, that's the thing. Like, he ended up changing what his punishment was because people were complaining that watching him play upside down was just too disorienting to be enjoyable.
Yeah, that's the most nausea-inducing video game I've ever seen. Whenever that effect is on.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But there have been some good suggestions for punishments. My favorite so far on the comments on there is that I have to go into my controls and swap my place block and break block buttons on my mouse.
Oh.
So that left click is place a block and right click is, break a block instead of the other way around until I meet some condition. So
that's pretty good.
That's the current right now, my current favorite is like an amalgam of different people's suggestions.
Yeah.
Like, I like this part of this suggestion, but I like this part of this other suggestion. So it'll be interesting to see where it ends up going.
I think I'm going to suggest switching your left and right keys on your keyboard.
Oh, man.
Like an A and D.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's
Well, yeah,
that's
I was
good.
going to say something
you go
like
post that on my video right now
Alright, I
before I
will.
forget.
something
post it.
like inverted controls or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man. That's because, well, Drew, you and I know from experience in that All-Star Smash or whatever it was, All-Star Battle Royale
Yeah.
on
Oh, yeah.
PlayStation.
Yeah,
When the controls get inverted, that's a pain in the butt in a video game.
yeah.
So yeah, that's probably not a bad idea.
Although it's a lot worse in something like that where it temporarily changes and you start to get used to it and then it switches back.
Right. Yeah, and unfortunately, I have to initiate those changes myself, so it'd be a little bit easier to adjust to.
Yeah.
Since I have to, like, I myself am setting that up, so it's not like it was imposed upon me so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, so far it's been doing exactly what I was hoping it would do, in that it's gotten some viewer feedback. It's gotten more comments probably than it's certainly above average in number of comments it's gotten so far, because people like suggesting different ideas. So
Sweet.
I'm hoping to get a few more so that I have a larger pool to choose from before I record my next episode. But we shall see.
I was going to suggest something, a singing related punishment, but then I realized we're punishing you, not the viewer. So.
Oh, snap. I am an excellent singer, I shall have you know.
Whatever.
But it would be a punishment for the viewer, because I would probably just break into Let It Go.
Oh,
And then
God.
Drew would never watch anything on my channel again.
Nobody would.
I don't have a problem with that song. Why do you think I do?
Yeah, because you've never heard it. You've heard it like 1% of the time compared to everybody
I
else.
watched the movie and now I own the song. I literally bought it on iTunes.
Oh, there
Okay.
you go.
I thought he was like, like when you sing it really well, you own it.
No.
I own that song.
Yeah.
I thought he purchased the rights to it, like, from Disney.
Yeah.
We'll play it, man. We'll use it as our theme
Oh,
song.
man.
Yeah, we can use that as our podcast intro now.
Yeah, there
yeah.
you go. But yeah, that's it for me for games. I was actually completely unplugged from the vast... Well, I was unplugged from the internet, but I did just realize now as I'm saying this, I was playing a few old school games while on vacation. I whipped out Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask on the N64, because we have them up at a cabin out in the wilderness where there's no cell phone reception or anything, but we have an N64 there.
Those are the best vacations.
I didn't realize you were going to a cabin that you guys had or whatever. I was like, where did you go that you just had access to an N64?
Yeah, we put we have the classic Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, and the N64. We moved up to the cabin, and just keep our quote unquote current generation of consoles. The last generation of consoles is what's at the house. None of the older stuff. So yeah, and I played a lot of. So you guys ever played Donkey Kong 64?
Oh my gosh. One of my favorite N64 games ever.
There's a lot of good stuff about it, but every time I play it, it smacks of we did not finish this before we released
No,
it.
it's not a great game.
In terms of like the polish, like it's so difficult to do the camera controls. I was getting physically sick at certain points trying to force the camera to go where I needed it to go, and the game kept forcing it back to where it wanted it to go. So it's this constant back and forth battle.
Right. Don't confuse me saying it's my favorite game with it's a good game. No, it's one of my favorites, but it's not good.
Yeah, I kind of had the same opinion of it. I would sit down to play one of the games that we had up there, and invariably it would be Donkey Kong 64, and I'm like, why am I playing this again?
I just like unlocking all the monkeys. You have to unlock Chunky Kong and Lanky Kong, and I remember like thinking, which monkey's gonna be next? I don't know. And this was before I looked up all the strategy guides and whatnot. But anyway, that was like one of my first real immersive video game experiences, so it has a special place in my heart.
Right. All right, what about you, Snow? What do you got going on game-wise?
Wait, are you going to roll?
Nope. Sucks for you.
Nope.
Okay.
No, I'll roll.
That's what
I'm
happens.
so used to following the doc in order. All right, so Snow had multiples of 3.
And no, I want evens now.
Oh, you want evens now?
Yeah.
Okay, well I rolled a 10, so I was prescient in my declaring that it was Snow's turn.
It is my turn. So I've been playing the normal stuff, Ether 1, Watch Dogs. I had a couple new episodes out of that. I started playing a new game, Sniper Elite version 2. I guess version 3 is already out, but version 2 was free the other day on, I think it was Steam, or it may have been GOG.com.
Yeah, it was on Steam.
It was on what?
Too. It was on Steam. I got it too.
Yeah, so it was free. So I'm like halfway through that, I think. That's pretty fun. It's a little graphic, so I don't think I'm going to make a series of it, because it's just literally skulls blowing up the entire time.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so we'll pass on that one. And then I actually played on the VBFS. I was watching the first episodes of UHC, which came out, MindCrack UHC, and they're doing a solo round, so there's so many episodes, so I just kind of play them on the side while I'm doing something else. So I decided to go try to fight the Wither on the VBFS. And I don't know if this is going to make it into an episode or not, but I failed really hard.
Oh, no.
I was like, I can solo a Wither. I've been playing Minecraft so long, I figured this out easy. No. This Wither was like no Wither you've ever seen, man. He was like spinning in circles. I don't know if Withers run, whatever they do. He was floating extremely fast in circles, and I couldn't shoot him, and I was just stuck in that bedrock hole. So Slash, I want to owe you an apology here. We need to recreate the the concrete slabs around the hole.
The what? Where?
Around the bedrock hole. You made that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I went in there. Actually, I don't even think I've fixed that up yet. Oh, wow. Yeah, I need to fix that up. But anyway, like, you did all the slabbing around the bedrock hole.
Right, yeah.
He destroyed that. It was a mess. Caleb West came on and quote unquote saved me. He did nothing, but he watched me beat it solo. I beat it in gold armor.
In gold?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I got home one night at like, I don't know, 10:30 or so. And I got on Skype and I had a message from like 2 hours earlier, and it's like, Drew, can you get on? I have a wither problem.
I had a really big wither problem. He had me trapped. Like, I was stuck in the bedrock, and I was stuck because like there's another hole in the bedrock. So he was like watching me while I was stuck in one of the holes in the bedrock, but you can't get out of that hole. You can only go out of one hole.
Oh,
so he had me like,
when he blew up the slabs, you fell down one of the ones that's too deep.
Yeah, he had me pegged in a bunker.
Building a dock, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it was awesome.
Oh,
anyway, so
wow. Yeah, you should set up further from the exit next time.
It didn't help because I died. Tip. And I went to go try to get my stuff, and I was like, well, crap, I'm stuck right here at the entrance. Yeah, so I owe you an ender chest and some concrete slabs, and we'll fix it up.
Can they blow up ender chests?
They did. He did. I got the obsidian.
I didn't think that they could do that.
Yep, I got the obsidian.
I thought it was because of the obsidian that was involved in their construction. I figured they were essentially invincible.
You would think, but no. It didn't work that way.
Myth busted.
It's very true. Okay, so that's my extent of action on the VBFS this week. And then we haven't talked about the Steam sale we missed last week, but the huge summer Steam sale. What did I just say? Summer Steam
I think
sale?
you said summer seam.
Oh gosh, cognitive dissonance is happening. So I bought a poop load of games. I bought Banished, Batman, The Bureau, Castle Crasher, CSGO, Democracy 3, Euro Truck Simulator 2, Gary's Mod, Civilization 5, and Tropico 4.
Wow.
Yeah, and they were all really cheap, but if you add them all up, it was a little bit of money.
It's not cheap.
Yeah,
it's no longer cheap.
I don't have my list here, so I'm not gonna list all the games I bought like Snow did, but but I know that I spent close to $100 on the Steam sale.
I didn't spend $100. You win.
Congratulations, Drew.
But
you are Tawinar.
What?
Whatever.
It was internet speak. Don't worry about it.
Okay. So yeah, I spent a lot, and some of them are going to get recorded, and some of them are just for my own fun. So
yeah, I'm thinking about setting up Twitch and seeing if I want to stream some of these or not. Just because
that could be cool.
Yeah, you can. I feel like Twitch is a much more relaxed medium for just kind of playing games.
I agree.
Instead of actually doing all the pomp and circumstance of recording it and whatnot.
Yeah.
So maybe
Twitch is
not.
very much like, I happened to go over to the guy's house and he was in the middle of playing a game. I plopped down on the couch and started watching.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
You just plop down on my couch.
There you go.
That should be like the title. Like if you start streaming, that should be just like your stream title. Plop down on my couch.
I don't know about the plop. That sounds a little weird, but I will. Maybe we can call it like Snow's couch or something.
Snow's couch.
Nobody will know what I'm talking about.
I have a quick aside because that you've brought to mind by the use of the word plop, which I think was actually I was the first one that brought that up.
It's a terrible onomatopoeia.
Yeah. While we were on our little vacation out in the country, out in the boondocks or whatever.
I see where this is going already.
Yeah, we saw a local. Actually, no, this was out. This was out at my sister-in-law's, so this wasn't even out in the country. But this was out in the suburbs, and they had a festival, and one of the games at the festival was called Llama Plop.
God. I didn't see where it was going. I was wrong.
How Llama Plop is played.
I don't want to know.
I can't figure out how that would be a game. So.
They have a pair of llamas.
Oh no.
One wearing a yellow bow for the yellow raffle tickets, and one wearing a red bow for the red raffle tickets. And they place them in a field that has been painted with a grid of squares numbered 1 through 100, which is the number of tickets, per color. And then the winner is the one whose ticket matches the number of the square where the llama plops its business.
Oh, that's great.
That's hilarious.
It is the only time you will find a crowd of people encouraging llamas to go to particular locations to take care of business.
Oh, man.
And sad when they take care of business, like a foot to the left.
That's awesome.
So anyway, that just popped into my head, and I had to share it because it's just surreal.
I live in a small town, but that's like really small town.
That's awesome.
It's pretty ridiculous. But it's apparently really popular. I think this was their 4th year doing it.
Super popular. And then, so to round out my games, I guess, I've got a new series coming up, and I've done some work on it. We'll see if it comes up before the next podcast. Who knows? So, stay tuned.
Sorry to spoil it for you, SnoShoe. I didn't realize you were playing Llama Plop for your channel.
It's a live stream. It's going to be great.
But Tish.
That's just too funny.
All right. Well, Drew, I rolled a 1 for you.
Critical failure?
Which I believe means it's your turn.
Should have used D20, and then it would have been a critical failure. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I've played... It's been so long. I've definitely played more than the games I have listed here, but it was all, like, grindy stuff in my other games, so I'm not even going to mention them. So, yeah. I played Diablo 3. I just got that, and I'm trying it out. I'm just kind of playing all of the different classes that there are to see what I like. But at some point, myself and my good friend Eric and my brother-in-law are going to just do like a co-op run of Diablo 3 on the Xbox.
Sweet.
Oh, cool.
So I've never played Diablo before. It's... I don't know, it feels somewhat D&D in video game form, but that's definitely the way the world is. But
yeah, it's got that fantasy element to it, but in terms of the gameplay feel, it's a little, it's not quite
right
in the D&D wheelhouse.
Yeah. And then I also recorded some Mirror's Edge, and that should be coming up on my channel very soon. I've been trying to watch speedrun videos to get better ideas on how to actually like get done levels quickly, because that was kind of the point of my series.
Do they actually have like speedrun world records for that?
Oh yeah, the world record is I could be totally wrong, and the Xbox and PC times are different because there are different glitches and stuff you can do with them. But I believe the world record is around like 1 hour 40 minutes, but it could be
Wow, pretty long.
That.
I mean, I guess I don't know how long the game is.
That seems like it's pretty short to go start to finish on the game, especially when you consider cutscenes and whatnot.
Well, normally there's enough glitches that you can get around a lot of that stuff, but
that's true too.
Like the record for Donkey Kong 64 is like I want to say it's like 14 minutes or something.
Okay, that's nuts.
Yeah, it's the glitches in that game are insane. If you,
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Look it up. It was at
AGDQ.
Actually, I think it was at Summer Games. I can't remember. But he did it live, and it was ridiculous. Nobody speedruns that game because it's so glitchy.
Okay,
Anyway.
so I googled Mirror's Edge speedrun world record, and I don't know if this is the current world record, but apparently on PC, someone beat it in 34 minutes and 49 seconds.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's kind of what I would have assumed, based on how long I think it is.
Some of those speedruns are nuts. Now, is that an actual human being speedrun, or is that a tool-assisted speedrun?
Yeah, that's an actual person speedrunning it.
Okay. Because there's some crazy tool-assisted speedruns out there, too, that are just fun to watch, you know? Where it's like a completely different... I don't know exactly how they do it. They essentially program the computer to play the video game at the absolute peak efficiency or something along those lines. And those can be a lot of fun to watch, but they have a whole different set of rules and expectations around them.
That's
So
actually
I
pretty
just
cool.
wanted to check.
Well, I actually saw at, like, whatever it's called, like ADGQ or whatever.
AGDQ.
Yeah. I saw they did a Mirror's Edge speedrun, and I think they beat the world record for the way they did it, which is they did it, they were using a controller, so I think it was on the Xbox. They might have just been using a controller for the PC. But what they did was, it was two guys playing it, and one guy was holding one side of the controller, and the other guy was holding the other side of the controller.
Wow.
And so they had to just, like, know what the other person was going to do, and it was crazy to watch.
That's some insane synchronicity there. Are they telepathic?
No, they just practice.
Wow. That's insane.
Yeah, are they...
I can't imagine being that well in tune with another individual to play a video game as if you were one person.
Do they happen to be conjoined twins?
No.
Okay.
But, I mean, that one of the guys is the guy who holds the world record, and the other guy was really high up there as well. So they know
Maybe
the
you
game
just had
really
him push,
well.
like, one button the entire time.
What?
Maybe you just had him push one button the entire time.
No, that's not how the game works, but yeah.
Fine.
Okay, well, that's enough about speedrunning.
That's enough about games, man. We've talked a lot about
Oh,
games
right.
today. What is this, a podcast
Indeed.
about games?
To heck with games.
Arrgh.
Who likes games? Let's talk about game-adjacent things instead.
Like
Sounds
news
good.
about games.
Like news about games and game-related individuals and whatnot.
I call multiples of 3.
Okay, well, I have no news items, so then Drew gets the other...
No! It's okay. Sticking
like
with
8
it.
items
Sticking
on
with
the dice. And... 12!
Yeah!
Against all
Sorry, Drew.
odds.
I get double prize now, right? 2 to 1
Yes,
odds.
you get twice nothing.
Yes!
Congratulations.
Awesome. Cool.
I'll wrap that up for you by the end of your segment.
I'll put the rest of my nothing in the refrigerator for later.
Indeed.
Okay, so last week I got some new computer parts, so I upgraded my computer. That's news about me, I guess, right? So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Got a new
Yeah, that's good
SSD.
stuff.
Got to figure out how to work it.
What was the capacity on there?
It is 250 gigabytes.
Not bad.
Yeah, pretty good.
I've been thinking about getting an SSD, but I don't... Mainly, the main thing I need to upgrade in mine, I think, is essentially the motherboard. Like, the processor and the RAM need to be upped. I think all the rest of the components of my computer are up to speed for what I'm doing with it.
Right.
But it's definitely... Like, it maxes out at 4 gig of RAM, and that's what I've got in it, and that's just not anywhere near enough.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I got 32. I just got some more RAM, but there's no point in it, really. It's just a lot of RAM I have left over because my dad has a ton of computer parts. So they're decent, but it's just a lot. There's no point in it. And then I got a new video card because my old one sucked. So, whew.
Cool.
Yeah, cool for computer upgrades. I got the 770 GTX 770. Fantastic.
Nice. I like NVIDIA stuff.
Yeah, NVIDIA's awesome. Next up from my section, because I won the dice roll. Just wanted to
Not
let
like
you
he's
know that.
bragging or anything.
2 to 1 odds, guys. MindCrack map reset. MindCrack is resetting their map. Now, the weird thing about this is that they're doing it on a specific date. They've set July 19th as the date when they're going to release. I think that's the date when they're going to release the new episodes for the new map version.
Interesting.
Yeah, because we don't have anything else that's going to dictate a date. Like, normally you would do a map reset for 1.8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's been some speculation among the VBFS and among Reddit and whatnot that possibly MindCrack knows a little bit more than we do about Mojang's plan here.
I find it very unlikely that Mojang is putting out 1.8, like, I mean, it's the 7th, like, when we're recording this, it's the 7th. This
Yeah.
is coming out on the 9th. we haven't seen a pre-release for 1.8 yet.
That's
and
true.
there would be at least a week's worth of pre-release before the actual release would go out.
And they've released some pretty huge content in the past couple snapshots. So there's
exactly
bound to be a ton of bugs. There's still a ton of bugs. It's crazy right now.
My suspicion is it's more that in their discussions with like Dinnerbone and people at Mojang, they may have heard that the work going into 1.8 at this point is no longer terrain related.
Oh.
Like the stuff that's in the 1.8 snapshots, that's all that's going to happen terrain wise.
Yeah, but the last snapshot
between now and the release.
The last snapshot completely broke world. Like, if you updated too soon, it destroyed your world if you didn't back it up.
Well, and the other thing I don't get about MindCrack's map reset is, didn't they have this whole point of, we're going to avoid map resets by having our central island, which is 1.7 land, and then, or I guess it was was it 1.6 land or 1.7 land? But it was like, this was terrain generation. I guess it was 1.7 terrain generation. Right. And then we're going to go 1,000 blocks west in the nether and pop out there, and that's going to be 1.8 land. If you're going to do stuff with 1.8, that's where you're going to do it. And if we want more terrain generation, we'll go north from the island or south from the island, And that they were going to have, multiple terrain generation updates before they were going to need to worry about resetting the map. So I'm confused by the decision now to go, we're just going to wipe everything and go with a new map.
Honestly, it's because I've always thought this, and I maintain my idea that Minecraft is slowly fading, at least for the bigger name YouTubers. So, and I don't think there's that much argument about it. I think Minecraft as a whole is doing fine, but for MindCrack, it's not nearly what it used to be. So people are getting tired of it faster because they played a new world so many times, and it's just every time they reset the map, it took generic 40 episodes to stop. Well, I think it was more than that, but however many episodes to stop playing, and then next season it's going to be a little bit less, and then a little bit less. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I think the reason they're resetting is because everybody's lost interest besides Beef and Zisto.
And Adlington.
Yeah, Adlington.
It's I've never understood the appeal of a map reset to rekindle interest. You just go... The world is infinite.
Yeah.
Just go somewhere else and start fresh if you want to rekindle your interest.
But that, to me, I get it because it's kind of like you're building the community portions of the server again. And I get that that's probably the most fun portion of a server, in my opinion.
No, I'll grant you that much.
So, if we had to rebuild Spawn, I think it would be a lot of fun if we had so many people on helping to rebuild Spawn with all these different buildings and whatnot. But I think everything's just gotten stagnant, and you get tired of going and seeing the exact same thing at Spawn over and over and over.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if it does any better, any worse. I don't know. I'm pessimistic.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, the fact that they chose, to release on July 19th, that's curious.
Very weird.
I'm very curious to see what that's going to entail and what they're going to do, if they're going to do anything new with this, season 5
and they
of MindCrack.
They've announced.
What's that?
They've announced that they're doing something different.
But they haven't said what yet.
Right, but I think that's part of the thing driving the date. I think they're really eager to do whatever they're going to do, because I think this is going to be awesome.
Oh, I'm intrigued. I'll be keeping... I have 2 weeks to catch up.
Hang on, let me write it down in the books.
I am so far behind on videos. It's going to be September before I start watching any of the Season 5 content at the rate that I get through my videos.
I give up on UHC. I think I'm just going to watch, 2 perspectives.
Yeah.
I can't do so much.
I haven't seen any of this season of UHC.
I'm essentially watching one perspective, and then if someone dies, I'll go check out what was going on.
That kills... I don't know. We've had this discussion in the VBFS chat. That kills me about UHC. Just having... I always want to watch all... I always watch all of the different perspectives, but solo, there's just no way. It's 400 minutes for the first couple episodes.
Yep.
That's insane. That's over 6 hours.
With solo, there are some people that I don't especially enjoy watching, and so, if they're on a team, sometimes it almost ruins a team for me. Not always.
Yeah.
There's only, 1 or 2 people that do that for me. But, I honestly prefer solo, but now it is... I don't have time to watch nearly as many perspectives.
Yeah.
I'm also just not as excited about UHC anymore, though, because they're on season 17. They've done
too fast,
so many. I'd honestly rather play one myself.
I think they've released too many too close together recently.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is the problem.
If they do it
they get
2
people to
a
watch
year,
them.
then it's exciting.
Yeah.
Did you say a year? Wait a year between UHCs?
I said 2 a year.
So like 6 months per UHC.
I'd give you 4 months. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, 4 months.
Like 3 times a year.
But not like 2. You know?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing.
I mean,
is that
the gap between the one that's running now and the previous one felt like, about a week.
right.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things is that in between their first episode, like when they recorded season 16 and when they recorded season 17 was probably a decent amount of time. But when you
Right.
consider however many episodes there are, 9 episodes times 2 days, so you're talking about 3 weeks later, and then you add another 3 weeks onto that. So there's 6 weeks probably in between when they're recording UHC, but we only get like 3 weeks rest between watching UHCs.
Right.
So anyway, that's enough about the MindCrack map reset. Because that's what we were talking about, right?
Tangentially related items.
Yeah. Number 3 on my list is my final news item. The SnoCup. Drewson has officially been eliminated from the SnoCup. And oh, I'm sorry. Did I read the future? Oh, I think I did. By the time you are listening to this podcast, Drewson has officially been eliminated from the SnoCup.
Wow. SnoShoe is so confident in the World Cup semifinal results that he's immortalizing them in this podcast at this moment.
For you all to hear. Unfortunately, Drew, 2 of your best players have been eliminated from the World Cup. Actually, from the next game only. Your best player has been eliminated from the World Cup. Your second best player was eliminated from the next game for doing something incredibly stupid.
Oh, I saw that, too.
He just ran into the goalie.
Walking across the goalie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was extremely dumb. I don't understand it. But
I don't really get a chance to watch the games, and I know nothing about like who's on each team. I'd see Brazil's doing well this game, Brazil's doing well this game, so I'm all for that.
We'll see.
Yeah, well, it's one of the big players on Brazil had gotten a yellow card in the round of 16, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? And then during the quarterfinal against Colombia, he just decided to basically, for all intents and purposes, he decided to like run past the goalie and like just smack into him.
Pretty much.
Was essentially what it boiled down to.
And the goalie is
right?
super protected in soccer, if you guys didn't know that.
Yeah, so it was like the dumbest thing. It was if you're familiar with American football, it'd be like a roughing the kicker thing.
It'd kind of be like walking across the line before the ball is snapped and just slapping the quarterback in the head.
Yeah, I think that's probably a better analogy. So, I mean, it was just the dumbest thing. It was the dumbest decision for him to make.
Yeah.
And I love the refs at the World Cup because they will, when something happens and they call a foul on someone, I love watching them smirk at the players. Like, yes, I'm going to call you for that.
I would be so annoyed at all the players. They complain so much. I would love to be vindictive. A vindictive referee.
But since that guy got a yellow card in 2 consecutive games, he is out the following game.
Yeah.
And that may be a factor against Germany.
And then your best player fractured his vertebrae. So we'll see. Germany's very good.
Yeah.
They haven't been playing as well, so I don't know. But my team, the Netherlands, is still in it.
So let's have you officially on record, Snow. We are recording this on July 7th. It releases July 9th. On July 8th, Brazil versus Germany. What is the result?
Germany beat Brazil 2-0 in regular time.
Wow.
Yep.
There you go.
Sorry, guys.
There you go, everybody.
Sorry, Brazil. The whole nation is crying because of me.
You can email your mockery of SnoShoe's incorrect prediction to demguyspodcast@gmail.com.
We'll see. But I'm going for the Netherlands, so that's on the other side of the bracket. Netherlands plays Argentina. So the Final Four is stacked. It's a good group.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. Anybody could win.
I just want to voice my disappointment. First in the Korean Republic, South Korea, for failing to get out of group play, and then to Algeria.
They actually played pretty well.
For going out in the round of 16 when you were my consolation team.
It's true. Yeah, Algeria played pretty well against Germany. Now, I'm cheering against Germany, if you guys don't know, because the way the SnoCup hashed out, I ended up with 2 teams, or 2 contestants getting a single team, and that team happened to be Germany. So if Germany wins the World Cup, then I have to give away 2 grand prizes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Plus, probably a consolation prize, right?
Yeah, so I will be spending, who knows however much these guys are going to want to...
Far more money than Snow was prepared to spend.
Yeah, it'll be alright.
For the sake of SnoShoe's wallet, Germany must lose.
Die, Germany. 9. So that's how the SnoCup goes. It'll be over, I think, This Saturday, I think. Saturday, Sunday,
Sunday.
Okay.
Saturday's the third place game, and then Sunday is when they're playing the final.
Third place game. That's such a cop out. Anyway, yep.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see if Drew can.
Oh, let's play to see who's third best.
Yeah, because
My
everybody's
heart's
gonna
not really
that.
in that.
Yeah.
But oh well.
They just made third place trophies, and they got to figure out who to give them to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, Drew, do your news.
Okay, so I wanted to do an update on Lazer Team, which, if you guys don't remember, is the movie that Rooster Teeth was making, and they were asking people to help fund it and everything.
$1 million.
Yeah, the wildly successful fundraising campaign by Rooster Teeth.
Yeah, so I was gonna give an update halfway through. They did like a really cool 12-hour live stream to like do all sorts of promotions for it. They raised a bunch of money for it then, but it actually just ended on Sunday the 6th. So that is what we're gonna.
I just saw the number.
And what was the grand total?
The grand total was $2,280,421.
That's insane.
Which
The original goal was what, like 600,000?
650,000. Yep.
Yeah.
That's insane.
That's nuts. That's 400%.
382,
roughly,
but yeah.
of your original
So
goal.
what that put them at is it put them at the #1 movie of all time on Indiegogo,
Oh my gosh.
and the #3 movie just of all time crowdfunded movies.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That's pretty
insane. The two movies that beat them of all time for crowdfunding was some movie that came out or that was kickstarted last year. I don't even know if it's out yet. I'd never heard of it. But it was called Wish I Was Here. Sorry. Which was...
Sounds existential.
It actually releases on the 18th of this year. So...
Wait, the 18th of this year? Which month?
Sorry, July.
18th month.
Sorry. That's what I meant. July.
Drew's calendar just starts at 1 and goes to 365 or 366. Forget this month business.
So yeah, and
Today
then
is 242.
And then the #1 crowdfunded movie of all time was the Veronica Mars movie that came out earlier this year.
Really?
Oh, right, yeah.
That's insane.
That's pretty crazy, though. You just know that there's going to be some people, based on the amount of backing that this movie got, that are going to expect it to, like, cure cancer upon viewing or something. Yeah, for as wildly successful as this thing was.
They're going to shoot lasers out of the screen.
Which
I don't even know what the movie's about.
It's going to be the first movie that you can watch in 5D.
Oh, God. They're giving out a free Curve TV with every view.
But yeah, I'm really excited for it, and I hope you guys will be too, because like it's not, you don't have to be a Rooster Teeth fan. They're not making it as a movie for just Rooster Teeth fans. They want it to be just a fun sci-fi comedy that everyone who likes sci-fi can enjoy. So
it looks like a neat plot that they've got going on there. Have we discussed the plot previously?
Yeah, we talked a little bit about it last time.
We did? Okay. But yeah, the plot looked like it's going to be pretty interesting. So yeah, it's something that I'm definitely going to check out whenever it becomes, once they've produced it and whatnot.
Is it going to be free to watch? I mean, I guess so, because they don't need any more revenue.
Well,
no, I don't think that's the case.
Yeah.
Really?
So for the people who funded it, or at least who donated to get certain perks, they'll get the DVD for free, or the digital version, or whatever they paid for. They are doing, I assume they're doing, at least to some degree, a theatrical release, because one of the things was when they reach a certain goal, they would do an international theatrical release as well in like a specific city, like whoever donated the most, which I think was from Australia, besides the US, whatever country donated the most. So they're gonna have like a theatrical release in Australia besides whatever they're doing here in the US.
Jeez. Can you imagine how awesome their lives are gonna get? It's like, you get to go, you raise $2 million, whatever we just said, $2.4 million, and now you get to go to Australia to release this movie that everybody paid for, that you're paying for, like, the best producers and whatever to make, and you're just a guy that does YouTube, or used to. They're obviously bigger than that now.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, as far as going to Australia, like, they go to Australia all the time for PAX Australia and conventions and stuff like that.
Well, fine. Not special.
I'm just saying, they are, I don't think you realized how big they already were, but yeah.
No, I mean, I know how big they are, but how big were they 5 years ago?
5 years ago, yeah, much, much smaller.
Yeah. That's just, it's crazy.
And for anyone who is a Rooster Teeth fan, like, from way the early years and remember the Strangerhood, which was it was actually a pretty awful, like not that well made series called The Strangerhood, which was made in Sims 3. They did like one season of that, and they seem to consider that their terrible series that they want to forget about. But there's a big chunk of fans that absolutely love it. And one of their stretch goals, which was if they reached $2,250,000, which they did, was they'd make season 2 of it. Oh, no. So now they have to make it.
It's going to be wildly successful, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Okay.
All right.
I think that was pretty much it for that news. So
nothing else is new. Everything is old.
No, everything else has been completely status quo for the last month or so.
Yep.
Nothing further to report.
Sorry, guys.
All right. Well, for our next section of random fun stuff, my wife has stolen my phone with my dice roller on it for purposes unknown.
That's fine. I'll go last.
So we'll just go in typical alphabetical order and go back to Drew.
Okay. Well, since I had to look at my Rooster Teeth email, which was on my other account,
his special backer email.
There we go.
Your note says Superfight.
Yes.
I'm excited. What is this?
Okay.
There's an exclamation point and everything.
That's all part of the title. So, Superfight is a card game that I just got. I actually discovered it through Rooster Teeth because they played it on a live stream. Superfight is made by the same people or the same guy who made Cards Against Humanity.
Oh, okay.
But it's really fun. I ordered it in the mail and I just got it today, and I'm super excited to play it with my friends as soon as I get a chance. But
so what's the concept?
The concept of the game is, well, there's a couple of different variations, but the way I've seen it and the way I'm going to be playing it for the most part is, so basically, first person to go, they have white and black cards in their hand. And so the the white cards are characters, and the black cards are, powers and problems, is what it describes it as. So, you play a white card, and then you play a black card, and then you draw a random black card from the deck. And that will be your hero, your super-powered person that is going to fight. So, a few examples of a white card would be the Doctor, a chimpanzee, a boy band.
A chimpanzee Time Lord.
No. Yeah, a boy band is one of them. A cactus is one of them.
Nice.
So it has a pretty wide variety. And then some of the powers and problems are like 100 feet tall, can breathe flames, is carrying a machine gun, can clone it.
I'm sorry, I just pictured a Time Lord chimpanzee carrying a machine gun.
Yeah. Can clone itself, and its clones can make clones of itself, but each clone is only half as smart as the one before. So all sorts of stuff like that. And then I actually bought an additional, add-on set of cards that adds, situations, which are like in a minefield, or like in a swarm of bees. But then there's stuff like all abilities are neutral, or characters have to swap all abilities, or there's like, rather than fighting, characters win by beauty pageant. But so
that sounds pretty cool.
I want this game.
Yeah, this sounds awesome.
I need to get a copy of this game. This sounds fantastic.
Well, this is something you could play like on YouTube too.
Yeah.
right?
The way that you win is, so the first person played his cards. The second person plays stuff they think can beat it. And then they basically just sort of debate, well, here's why my guy would win. And then everybody else kind of votes for who's gonna win. And then if you win, you get to move on and fight the next person's thing. And then if you win a certain amount in a row, you get retired, so that you're not just like, if you're somehow something totally overpowered, like you're not just destroying everybody. But you do get extra points if you get a hero up to that point where they are retired. So yeah.
That's pretty awesome. You have to tell us how it goes.
Yeah. I'm really excited to play it. So.
Alright. Well, that's the sort of game that would go well at a birthday party. Yeah, transition. I was doing like jazz hands. I don't know if the microphone picked that up.
Is it picking up my jazz hands?
Like, just like insert a little like jazz noise in the background.
Yeah.
But yeah, my son recently turned 7. As you may have seen from Drew's channel update video, actually. And I guess my latest VBFS, I mentioned it as well.
That's 7 years, Drew, not 7 days.
What?
Yeah, so 7 years. And this year he wanted a Minecraft-themed birthday party. And so we had a lot of fun setting that up. We did, all of the different party foods were based on items in the game. You know, so we had melon, and we had glycering melon, which was cantaloupe, and we had sticks, which were pretzel sticks, you know, and we were gonna have, meatballs and call them spider eyes, but we never got around to making that, you know. So we had a number of things that were along those lines. He had a green cake with a creeper face on it that my wife made. We printed out pictures of the various mobs, like just the mob heads, and hung them on our clothesline outside, and gave them foam core Minecraft diamond swords that we made to bash the guys, beat the guys up with. Those swords did not last very long. I think within the first 5 minutes, I had 2 kids come up to me with swords that had the hilts ripped off the bottom of them. And so most of the swords just ended up with like a duct tape, quote unquote, jewel in the middle of the hilt to reassemble them.
That's awesome.
So not quite as robust as the ones you might find from, say, ThinkGeek, but, you know, they serve their purpose for the day. And the thing that we had the most fun with was, some friends of mine for my birthday had gotten me this quote-unquote green screen, which is just this very bright green curtain, basically, that is intended for me to set up behind me and do live streaming with. And I just have not gotten around to getting it set up properly. Mm-hmm. But we did get around to setting it up for the party for a photo booth thing.
Oh, that's cool.
So we would have the kids would do poses in front of the green screen, and then I would put Minecraft backgrounds behind them.
That's pretty awesome.
And send them, you know, pictures to their parents via email so that they could enjoy being sort of put in the game.
I wish I had that kind of stuff growing up at my birthday parties.
We're pretty awesome parents, yeah. Yeah. I can confirm. And super modest, too.
Yeah, super modest, super awesome.
Yeah, the amount of modesty that we have is just unparalleled.
It's only eclipsed by the awesomeness.
I put it entirely on my wife. She's very creative, and she's very good at navigating Pinterest.
Yeah.
So she can consolidate different ideas other people have had into one mega party idea, and it turns out very well. I'm trying to remember what we did for him last year. But the Minecraft thing this year was pretty good, too.
Okay, I'm ready.
SnoShoe has something fun for us today, don't you, Snow?
It's time for the first game. I've been trying to play a game on this podcast forever, because if you guys don't know me, I love games. And this is a podcast about games.
I had no idea that you liked games,
I love games.
It's not like you record yourself playing video games for the internet or
Shut
anything.
up, man.
But I'm excited for this game. Tell the people what you've got planned for us.
Okay, it's pretty simple. It's Name That Tune, right? But video game style. So I've got 4 clips. The first one is just to tell you guys how it's going to work. So if I play a clip such as this one, you have to name the game. So here's the first one. Right.
Which would be Super Mario Brothers.
Obviously. Very good.
Right.
All right. So that was like level 0, okay? We're going to move on to level 1. This one is...
So how are we, like, ringing in?
Well, it's not necessarily a competition, but I think we should, I guess, at the end of the sound clip, I'll ask you guys if both of you know it, because I don't think you're both going to know all of these.
Okay.
You can always, to avoid us hearing the other person's answer or seeing the other person's answer, we could send you a message in your Skype.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We'll just do it in the Skype chat.
Just make sure,
and I'll tell you guys if you're right or wrong.
Just make sure your Skype sounds are turned off.
I think they are. I don't have Skype.
Boing.
All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
I'm ready.
This is number 2. This is my favorite game theme song of all time. It's pretty easy. We're going to start off easy here.
Obviously.
Drew,
Yeah?
did you send it?
Not yet. Do you want me to send it now? I was waiting for you to say.
Send it.
Okay.
Send it when you get it. Send it when you know it.
Okay.
All right.
I would be excommunicated from all things if I did not know this one.
You guys literally typed it the exact same case and everything. Legend of Zelda is correct. Did you guys get it too?
Yeah.
The listener on the listenership. Did you guys get it? Yeah, that's awesome.
Well done.
Tell us in the comments if you got it.
Yeah.
Be honest. We'll know.
All right, so that was pretty easy. Do you agree that's the best game theme song of all time?
That's definitely up there. It's got to be one of the best. Legend of Zelda music in general is some of the best video game music on the planet.
Yeah. Just that song, the march, just the feeling you get when you hear that song. I have shivers right now.
Yep.
All right, this one's a little bit harder. The younger audience might have issues with it, but I think you guys will both get this one. Okay? Send it to me when you get it.
Okay.
Ready?
All right.
Slash? Ooh.
I'm actually not sure on that one. I recognize it, but I don't know for sure.
I knew it on the first note.
Drew knew it. Drew got it immediately. Slash took a little while, but he was correct. It is Halo.
Okay.
Halo, yes, good one. That's a very memorable one for you guys because it plays during the pause screen or like during the loading screen for Halo.
Well, the main menu screen, yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you're like me, sometimes you just turn on a game and leave it. So I'd left that up on my screen all the time when I was
And it had that on Halo 1, 2, and 3, so...
Oh, it did? I didn't even know it went that far. I thought it was 1 and 2. I didn't know 1 to 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, there
pretty
was
awesome.
some other music in there, too, but it definitely had that one in there.
It's an iconic song for sure, I think.
Yeah.
All right, so you've got one more for us, Snow, is that correct?
One more. You ready?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm ready.
I'll be surprised if Slash gets it. I don't expect Drew to get it. I know it, obviously, but okay. Ready?
Yep.
Drew is incorrect, but he's
Wow.
close. Slash? You can guess again, Drew, if you want.
Well, I mean, I know the genre from just the way the music is, but I have no idea what game, because I haven't played that genre very heavily.
Yeah, I would have just guessed Dance Dance Revolution.
Both of you are wrong. It's Kingdom Hearts.
Okay.
Oh, is that in Kingdom Hearts?
It
really?
is. Drew said Final Fantasy, which is very similar, obviously.
Yeah, I could tell it was like a JRPG style.
Where is that in Kingdom Hearts?
It's like right the very first Kingdom Hearts whenever you're on the island and it's like when you're fighting the big monster guy.
In the dream thing, or before you leave the island?
It's like right when you're leaving the island, I think.
Huh.
I don't know.
It's been a while since I played Kingdom Hearts. I did not recognize that in the slightest.
Yep.
It sounds very similar to, I think it's called True Emotion from Final Fantasy X-2. It's very similar.
I knew it sounded Final Fantasy-ish.
I really hope that's not the actual song. Hang on. I'm going to Google it to make sure I'm not wrong. So that is, name that tune, Game Edition.
I like this.
That was very cool. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
play it.
Good.
Yeah.
We might do some more in the future.
Indeed.
Let us know if you guys like that. And maybe, we've talked about it, we may or may not have something where we can like send out the three songs early and you guys can take a listen to it before the podcast and see if you can get it.
Although they would almost need to like contact you directly so that Slash and I didn't see the answers.
Well, they don't have to post them anywhere.
Yeah, just put, like, name that tune answers in the podcast email subject.
Okay.
And Drew and /
Yeah, there you go. Then the rest of us won't read it.
Yep.
We promise.
Yes.
Yep, and if you get them all right, I'll name you on the podcast. How about that?
Ooh, there you go.
Yeah, there's some incentive.
All right. And then we'll never end up getting around to that game again.
Yep. Sorry, guys.
All right, well, we are up to the questions part of the podcast for this. I was about to say this week, but we're only a bi-weekly podcast,
Yeah.
so this bi-week.
Except we missed last week, so it's this quadra week.
Yeah, also known as Emma.
Not a good
But I like Quadra Week. I might have to start using that.
Drew just calls it a 28.
Let's see. I'm not really available during the Quadra Week of June, but
That's good. I like it.
Okay, here we go. Questions. This question is from the Million Monkeys, all a million of them again. He says, "Hey guys," and this is going along with our pirate theme. I'll read it in a pirate accent. He says, "Hey guys."
oh boy,
Is that a pirate accent? That's
No.
not a pirate accent.
sorta. It might be a dwarf.
Yeah, I'll be Gimli. I've got another question for you. If the listenership ran aground on a deserted island, and you could only take one object from the wreck to aid in your survival, what would it be, and why? That's the end of that question.
It's a fascinating
I
question.
do have a
Given that,
Sorry, I do have a...
go ahead. You have clarification for
I had
us.
spoken to a Million Monkeys about this when I put this
All of them?
in last week, and he did say, because I was like, well, we're technically not on the listenership. But he said he figured that us as dem guys were actually like the captain and the navigator and stuff, which that actually worries me a little bit. Like, where are we going?
I don't know.
I got the wheel.
That's how we ran aground, I guess.
We do that every podcast.
I'm going to presume, for the sake of hilarity, that the listenership contains within its storage a replacement for the listenership. And that's what I would take
So
out of the listenership.
it's like
Separate listenership.
it's like an inflatable, like a new listenership. Just take that as storage.
No, as long as we're just declaring random things about our listenership, I'm going to say it's using Time Lord technology and it's bigger on the inside, so you can actually store it in itself.
Oh, so it's not just like a listener dinghy. It's like a full listener.
Question is, can you get
It's
it?
like the whole listenership.
Can you get it out of it? Like, would it fit through?
Yes, because we broke the other one.
Okay.
We broke it right in half.
We broke the outer one so that it opens up and has room to pull the...
It's like
So if
when
the
a caterpillar
listenership
turns into a butterfly.
Sorry, we're all talking at once.
We just broke the chrysalis of the listenership, and the butterfly
yeah,
listenership
there you
emerged.
go, and it's a listener butterfly.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like
So, what you're saying is if the listenership wrecked, you would take the listenership to aid in your survival.
that. Yes,
Flawless
that
logic.
is correct.
Perfect. Do you have an actual answer? Or is that your real answer?
I'll see if I can come up with a more conventional answer while you guys are talking.
Okay, Drew, do you have an answer?
Well, I was assuming that we were talking about just a normal, like I don't know, I was picturing more of like a pirate ship type thing, so like whatever stuff would be on there. So I would have said like a knife, like a dagger, but
Okay.
If we're assuming that it's because it's the listenership, we can kind of decide whatever we want is on there, then I would probably take our portal device that allows us to get to the listenership anywhere in the world, and I'd just take that and teleport back home.
There you go.
And walk away and zip it right back up and leave us all out there? Figure it out, nerds.
I approve of your plan, Drew.
Dang it.
All right, SnoShoe, you've got two absurd examples that you have to now one up.
Okay, let's see. I don't know. Can I... From the wreck, though, like... So how many people do we have on the listenership?
I don't know, how many subscribers do we have, Slash?
I think we have 8 subscribers on the channel at the moment.
Okay, 8 plus us 3. Did I subscribe? Maybe. I don't know. Who cares? I would take all 8 of you and use your... This was a forceful impact, so I would use your deceased bodies as a raft. And create my own listenership. And use Drew's
A
deceased
literal
body.
listenership.
Yes.
Out of listeners.
Made out of listeners. I'm going to use Drew's deceased body. We'll leave Slash behind. Then I'm going to use Drew as the paddle.
That's
and we'll
like
row
the
home.
most horrible answer.
I had to one up you guys. I win.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I'll put the floatiest ones in the middle, just in case.
I think the main lesson to be learned here is that none of the three of us should ever be allowed at sea. We're on the no float list.
Sink on site.
Oh gosh.
Sink on site. There you go.
Perfect.
Oh man. All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode of the podcast. We'll end on that nicely surreal note.
Have fun floating in the water.
If you want to give us more fodder for our bizarre brains, make sure you email us at the podcast email address, which one more time is demguyspodcast@gmail.com.
demguyspodcast@gmail.com.
I think you're going to, like, pass out partway through that sometime.
Maybe. Sometimes I run, like, the MAIL together to just say mail, but if I say it really slowly, it sounds like MAIL.
No.
I honestly didn't realize you were spelling the last part. I thought you always said at gmail.com.
Maybe I did. I don't know. I've evolved, okay.
Who knows? All right, well, thanks for listening, everybody. Yep. Thanks for providing us buoyancy.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks to you. I'll make it home safely.
We'll talk to you in the next one.
Time to row home.
Bye.
Bye.